Mike Shapiro, voice actor of the G-Man and Barney Calhoun since Half-Life 1, recently did a collaboration with Boundry Break on the first Half-Life game. The whole point of this collaboration was for Mike Shapiro to redo the Half-Life 1 Barney voice for some parts of the video. However, at the end of the video, he was given the opportunity to shout out some of the things he was doing, including his Twitter, Half-Life Alex, and then this.
What's coming up? Well, I'm pretty excited about a certain Valve title releasing very soon, and then later in 2020, there's a different big surprise coming that folks may be keen to learn about, so stay tuned for that blast from the past.
Okay, before we move any further, obviously, I need to say big old red speculation. It is very possible that whatever he is talking about here is unrelated to Valve software. Maybe there's a Blood 3 on the horizon for some reason. But let's all just assume that we're currently talking about a Valve product. On my live streams, which by the way, if you don't watch, you're missing out on a lot of news, I have speculated on the existence of another Half-Life VR title that we just kind of jokingly refer to as Half-Life Barney. However, following those original speculations, I started to receive evidence that it wasn't just a joke. It was something that, at least theoretically, was being worked on. But the blast from the past, which is apparently going to be announced before the end of 2020, which we're not going to hold him to that, it's Valve time, very likely could be something related to the Half-Life series, and if it is 100% taking place in virtual reality. Because here's the secret. HLVR, the codename that we had been speculating on for over 4 years, and the thing that I have been the most right on in my entire career, is not technically the codename for Half-Life Alyx. It's the codename for the engine base that Half-Life Alyx runs on. And according to a source that has development assets of Source 2, HLVR has other branches. But there is evidence that Valve is going to make a Majora's Mask. Okay, for those that don't understand what I'm saying, Nintendo spent 4 years developing Ocarina of Time, and they wanted to try and reuse the assets and engines somehow without wasting a whole lot of employee time. Miyamoto just wanted to remix the original dungeons, but Eiji Aonuma wanted to make a whole other game, and Miyamoto thought that wasn't possible in the time frame they had, which was only 1 year, yet somehow it worked, and Majora's Mask came out of it, because they didn't have to remake the engine, they didn't have to remake a lot of the assets and entities, they just made a new campaign. And that's exactly what Valve is going to do with Half-Life Alyx, given the current success rate of virtual reality, given the current supply and demand problems of hardware to begin with, and given the enormous install base that Valve has been creating through just Half-Life Alyx. If Valve works their best on the virtual reality industry for the next few years, we're going to see multiple games. Regardless of what Doug Lombardi tells you in an IGN interview, they're working on things aside from Half-Life Alyx that we may see in the future, specifically for VR. If you have any questions about this, email me, tylermcvicker@yahoo.com. If you have any conflicting information to this speculative report, tell me. My DMs on Twitter are always open. My DMs on Discord are always open. Link to those down in the description below. And my email is tylermcvicker@yahoo.com. This is an ongoing, speculative story. However, I have a feeling that there is something going on, and I'd really like to get ahead of this. So, thank you very much for watching. I promise much larger reports are going to be releasing any day now, and I hope you have a good day. I'm Tyler McVicker. This is Valve News Network. Adios.